Have you ever noticed how some leaders, some organizations just seem to operate on a different level? They inspire people, they build this incredible loyalty, while, everyone else is just there. Well, it turns out there's a pattern to it, and it all comes down to how they communicate. It really boils down to this one simple, powerful idea from Simon Sinek. The most inspiring leaders and brands, they think, act, and communicate in the complete opposite way that most of us do. And the amazing part? This isn't some kind of magic. It's a framework, and absolutely anyone can learn it. Okay, so what does communicating the complete opposite way actually look like in the real world? To really wrap our heads around this, we're going to use a fantastic and, let's be honest, probably a little too relatable analogy, a first date.
All right, first up, let's explore the single biggest mistake people make when communicating, whether it's in their business or just in life. We're going to call this the what first date.
So let's set the scene. Imagine a guy named Davido. He's on a first date, he's sitting across the table, and he really wants to make a good impression. So he decides to lead with what he has and what he does. So the first thing he says is, I am very, very rich. I mean, it's a fact, right? But it kind of just hangs in the air. Doesn't exactly build a connection, does it? And he doesn't stop there. He follows up with, and I know lots of famous people. Okay, another fact. It's starting to feel less like a date and more like he's just reading his resume out loud. Next up, he says, oh, and I'm on television all the time. So you see what's happening, right? He's building a picture, for sure, but it's a picture of his assets, not of who he is as a person. There's no there. And he caps it all off with, and I have a beautiful home. He's laid all his cards on the table, all the things that he thinks make him valuable, all of his whats. So here's the big question. Does our friend Davido get a second date? We don't even have to think about it, do we? Our gut reaction is no way. It just feels wrong. It's self-serving, it's transactional, and frankly, it's a total turnoff. Now here's where it gets really interesting, because that disastrous date, well, it's a perfect mirror for how most businesses, most professionals try to sell themselves to the world. I mean, just look at this side by side. It's almost the exact same script. I'm very rich becomes we're very successful. I know famous people becomes we have the best clients. It's the same what first approach. And think about it. If that approach feels so wrong on a date, why on earth would we expect it to work in business? The truth is, it doesn't. Okay, so let's give Davido a do-over. We're sending him on that same date, but this time he's going to do the complete opposite. This time he's going to start with why. Now, before we see how this plays out, let's get crystal clear on what why means. Your why is not about making money. That's just a result. Your why is your purpose. It's your cause, your core belief. It's the reason you even bother to get out of bed in the morning. So, take two. This time, Davido opens with this. He says, I absolutely love what I do. I get to work for an organization that believes we're responsible for holding other people's dreams in our hands. Whoa. That lands differently, doesn't it? Suddenly, he has a purpose. And now, only after establishing that purpose, can he start listing the same facts. But this time, they aren't just a list, they're the proof. And because we're so good at what we do, I've actually been able to make a lot of money, I get to meet famous people, and I have a beautiful house. Now get this. The facts are exactly the same as the first date. And this right here is the whole secret. The facts didn't change at all. But the feeling, it's completely different. By starting with his why, he gave all of his whats a context. They transformed from a random brag sheet into tangible proof of what he believes in. So let's just boil this all down. What we're really talking about here is the incredible power of purpose. Look, at the end of the day, you've got two paths. You can start with what, which is just, a list of features, a list of facts. The result is almost always a really weak connection. Or you can start with why. You establish your purpose, and that builds context. It creates a real connection, and it fosters trust. The outcomes couldn't be more different. Seriously, if you remember one thing from all of this, let it be this right here. Purpose provides context. Without it, you're just throwing facts at people. But with it, you're sharing a belief, and that changes everything. And that, of course, leads us to the most important question of all, the one for you to take away from this. Whether you're thinking about your company, your team, or just your own career, before you tell people what you do, can you clearly and passionately tell them why you do it? So, what's your why?